Ooh, this mental health vlog is not going to be an easy one because I feel like even putting stuff out is done at a risk of losing people that I thought were friends, at a risk of making myself feel more vulnerable than I care to, at a risk of people still not understanding what I'm saying, but me doing it anyway. Because honestly speaking, I feel like there is gonna always be a disconnect. I am up against people's feelings, and if I've learned anything being on the internet, that's a barrier for some that you can't get past. Now, I've talked about my weight several times. I've made a video called Fat. I am very open about the up and down of being a big woman that has lost weight. I don't hide it because I'm not ashamed of it anymore. And I think a lot of it comes with age. I think growing up in a time where bullying was so normalized, being surrounded by people that constantly tried to make me feel bad for superficial stuff, I just developed inwardly a way to not let them get to me. And it wasn't 100%. I think some of my most suicidal times came 20 years ago when I was younger, and image mattered so much to me. But you get to a certain age and you start to realize that none of that shit matters. And life is way too short to be so hyper focused on such stupid shit. But I noticed that to get in this headspace isn't easy. I didn't focus on looks at all. No shock there to some people. I focused on the things about myself that I did like. I like studying. I like learning. I focused on the good that I could see. And I started really looking at myself, scars and all, messed up shit about me and all, and realized that I don't care. I like what I see. It took time. It took building. It helps having the head voices, I'm not going to lie. But unlike some who try to lie and say, oh, my head voices told me to kill, my head voices have always been just there for me. That's the comfort, the things I have conversations with. And I can't explain it any better than that. I don't think I should. It's personal to me. And it's very annoying that people want to talk mental health when they act up. It's annoying watching people fight with each other over perceived slights. It's just annoying. And the whole idea that any comment about somebody else being fat, any mocking of being fat, is a direct personal attack on you. I just feel like the people doing that need to admit that they are not comfortable in the body they're in. It's funny, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit on the Bonnet Chronicles, how certain insults are okay. I've watched a lot of these same people never get on me when I attack certain people's appearance. I call Nina Turner, who is a waste of space, five head because I think she has a huge forehead. A lot of us do, but it's funny. I've dragged people for not having edges. I've done plenty of insults that people let me get away with because low hanging fruit when it's a black woman. But because you're a heavy set person that's not comfortable in being heavy set, the moment somebody says something against fat people, it's a bridge too far for you. And it's really fucking annoying. A lot of us had to deal with people being biased against our size. A world that tells us that our heaviness is undesirable. Partners, friends, family who are constantly trying to make us feel shame for our size. So I get where your insecurities come from. I get where your sensitivity to it comes from. But the fact of the matter is, not every fat insult is a direct insult to you. And some people just don't want to hear it. Because, like I said, that barrier of your feelings just can't be penetrated by anybody. I fucking get that. When I'm emotionally upset about something, that rational side of my brain does not exist. That rational side of my brain is already frayed as it is. I'm just real enough to admit that. But that's why I try not to get so emotionally invested, especially on shit people say on Twitter. I realize I'm not everybody. I can't control how people feel about situations. I just felt like I watched people show me who they are. And I think people don't realize the patterns in the things they say are really easy to suss out. Things like, oh, I knew this about this person. It just makes me pause. The bigger somebody gets online, the more people want to be around them. Good, bad, and in between. And sadly, there are a lot more in betweens that end up being bad for us than they want to admit. They act like they're our friends, they act like they care, and then they wait for us to fuck up so that they can say, I never really liked them in the first place. And what really hurts is sometimes the slight is mostly in your head because you think people need to ally to your level of comfort when you're not even comfortable in your own self. If you have body image issues, anything's going to seem like a personal attack on you. And it doesn't help that the body positive movement, as they want to call themselves, seems to think that anything daring to say the word fat is an attack on them, and it's exhausting. I have been well over 500 pounds. I have been working slowly and steadily on reducing my weight in a healthy way, exercising, doing things in a nice routine fashion. The goal was never to be skinny, though, for me. And I've got a good partner who doesn't want that for me either. He realizes that for mental reasons, I do not feel comfortable worrying about body image anymore. So we don't focus on that. Everything that I've been doing the last 2 years to reduce my weight some has been coordinated, has been done safely, and it's been working for me. And it also helped me realize that I don't have to get upset every time a fat joke's made. I don't have to get upset every time somebody hurls an insult at somebody like fucking Trump or Chris Christie or even a fucking political dig. I can be okay with certain insults. Now, had this person that everybody wanted to try to jump on directly attack somebody or even slap back against somebody and was like, well, you're a fat thing. And that would have been me saying, okay, you need to chill. You're being nasty to your friends. Like, that wasn't the case and you know it. But everybody's looking for a reason to be hurt. Everybody's looking for a reason to be offended right now. And it really is troubling because I noticed how hard you go towards certain creators. And the moment any of us look like we're about to pop off, the moment any of us begin to rise, all those people that used to kick it with us, all of a sudden want to kick us. And it makes me leery. This is why I keep things so distant now. There is not a lot of interpersonal stuff going on with me online anymore because I don't trust people. I already have enough paranoid shit running around in my head most days. And when I see people who I used to think was cool devolve into my feelings were hurt, so I'm going full, you need to unfollow me because if you agree with this person, y'all are fucking being childish. I am over 40 fucking years old. I am not in the mood to play the you can't be friends with this person and be friends with me game. And too many of you want to play those games. It's just not okay. I get that not everybody's going to get along. I get that not everybody has the same values. I get not everybody had to deal with the fucking dozens. So you just don't understand how insults can sometimes be cathartic at times. It's not to justify people who are just cruel to be cruel. And I get that not everybody wants to be the fucking punchline. But the reality of the situation is we live in a fucking superficial world. And if you don't learn how to love yourself, navigating this shit is going to be much harder for you than you will ever understand. And I think some people really need to hear this because you don't understand this. You make situations that weren't about you all about you. You erode potential friendships because your feelings got hurt. And then you're left picking up the pieces because nobody wants to deal with your ass. I don't want to walk around eggshells with people who get upset over certain insults, but you have nothing to say when I'm insulting somebody you don't like. You key it up when it's somebody you can't stand, especially if that person's black. And yeah, I'm going there because a lot of the people who are upset the last few days and made Twitter fucking unbearable, y'all were of a certain demographic. Y'all are really super sensitive over superficial things, and why not? You set the fucking tones to what standards of beauty are. It's why it's easy for you to call women like me mannish. It's why it's easy for you to say that we're either exotic or not beautiful or not feminine at all. It's really easy for you to set the tone of what insults are allowed and what hurts your feelings so it's not allowed. All this stuff about not attacking somebody's body image. All these white people that don't want us to say boo about somebody being fat because they might happen to be fat or might be insecure about getting fat. Y'all are fucking exhausting. And that's why my circle gets smaller day by day because honestly speaking, I'm tired of putting your feelings over the reality of the situation. You don't like being mocked? Join the fucking club. But it really is funny how selective your outrage at certain insults are until it fucking hits home, until you feel personally attacked. And then all of a sudden, you're getting your feels about stuff. And it's like I said, I'm defending my one friend because the tweet that everybody was getting upset about, especially, wasn't even directed at anybody. He dinged somebody at political, didn't even give a direct name. He was just making a general comment about them. And all these white people came out of the woodwork upset because, oh, he's being fat phobic. It's a low hanging fruit. You're attacking our image. And it's like, if you felt confident in who you were, which I get why you don't, this wouldn't be a thing. But it is. And the saddest part of all of this, besides the fact that I'm probably recording and, oh no, the sound is going. The saddest part of all of this is just how easy it is to exploit self-image issues. How easy it is to take something that we feel insecure about and make it such a driving focus. And all you did was give somebody like me who can easily weaponize stuff the key to hurting you. And I want people to start to understand that. I personally don't see myself doing that. That nasty 10 died years ago. I just get no satisfaction from doing shit like that. And that's just how I handle things. I'd rather just leave all of you alone. Detachment is far easier for me than to constantly keep up hurting people's feelings. I just feel like people don't realize how much ammo you give to those who do get a dopamine hit from hurting you by openly admitting that something like weight is the knife that can cut you quick. And if you have lived long enough in a big body and you haven't learned that people are just awful and that doesn't have to be you by now, learn that. Because honestly speaking, we're in a world of very superficial. We're in a world where people literally suck certain parts of their body out to inject in other parts of their body. It is a fucking cartoonish world. And you need to figure out who you are and start liking who you are so that you can navigate it. Because this shit of getting upset by every fucking fat insult, every fat joke ain't it. And you're going to end up losing friends and people like me who just don't want to deal with your level of sensitivity. I'm sorry. I literally live in a world where people fucking hate me for shit that I cannot change about myself. The weight shit is something I can. So I don't take insults on that level to a personal thing unless somebody is directly saying it to me, and then I congratulate them. Way to go, champ. You picked the low-hanging insult. Maybe you'll level up one day. I just feel like in doing this mental health vlog, I just need to rant against the inconsistencies I see with people's outrage. And the fact that certain people are just jumping on this to attack black creators and they don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit that deep seated, I don't want to see this person get too big, or I always knew this about this person leans that they have. And it really is troubling. And this is why so many of us just don't fuck with y'all on that level no more. And it's sad because social media is supposed to be social, but it just feels like the closer you get to people, the more they let you down. And this is why so many of us just we're antisocial. We just don't want to deal with that shit because the reality of the situation is you're just going to let us down. But I've rambled on long enough. This is just going to be another short mental health vlog. It's just how I felt about this week. It has been a rough week. Yesterday was my grandmother, would have been my grandmother's 84th birthday. My friends have died. COVID's still a thing. I have really become a hermit mentally, and like many, I use the internet to keep in contact with people. I use the internet to socialize, and it is not a fun place anymore. So I've been distancing myself. And when I see people looking for reasons to fight and feud with each other, and this latest non-issue becoming the issue because you just wanted a reason to not like the person putting that tweet out. And it's not hard for me to see how easy it is for you to jump on certain people. And if you feel targeted by this mental health vlog, good, maybe you should. Because honestly speaking, we're not responsible for your self-image issues. And that is something you have to work on, whether it's with a therapist, whether you do it yourself. But the world isn't constantly responsible for how you view yourself. It can cause damage, and I'm willing to admit that. But until you start liking what you see, every insult is going to feel like a personal attack on you, even when it's not. So that's just my advice for this mental health vlog. As somebody who really struggles with so many issues, that image just has no room right now. I guess I'm lucky. I have way too much other real serious shit going on for me to give a fuck what people think about my looks. And then, once again, being a black woman, I've heard I'm ugly and so many other horrible things for so long that it just doesn't faze me anymore. So when people ding something that I willingly have done to myself, it just, okay. I really hope that one day somebody who really is super sensitive sees this and understands that this isn't a dig on you. This isn't to make you feel bad for feeling bad. It is to get you to finally see that once you start to have actual self-worth, nothing some troll or insulter or somebody just looking to hurt you because that's how they get their jollies will get through. But it is funny how your barrier of defense can be penetrated by something that has absolutely nothing to do with you. But you don't have that same smoke for anything else. But that's just all I want to say this week. I will see you next week for another mental health vlog. See ya.